This page is the cover of Saturn Fan Magazine, prominently featuring the highly anticipated Sakura Wars 2, announcing the return of the Imperial Assault Group to the Saturn, and a spring release date. The cover artwork shows a character looking out from behind a window. The magazine promises a report on the 7 halves joint presentation and coverage of a strong lineup of games including Darkstalkers 3, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Waku Waku Puyo Dungeon, and All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua. They are also delving deep into popular works like Super Robot Wars, Slayers Royal, Resident Evil, Last Bronx, Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, Rondé, Dead or Alive, Real Sound, and Desire. A comprehensive strategy guide for Classmates 2 is highlighted, boasting an impressive page count covering all characters. There's also a mention of a Grandia Prelude Experience version giveaway. The top banner teases a new 3D fighting game from Sega and a Wolf vs. Baba match, generating excitement for combat fans. This issue is number 14 from July 25, 1997.
This page features a captivating advertisement for Real Sound Kaisei No Regret, a game highlighted on the previous cover as a key title. The visual is a serene image of a woman standing on a beach, gazing out at the sea, perfectly complementing the game's themes. What makes Real Sound unique is its revolutionary concept. It's a full-fledged love story played entirely through sound, with no visual display used. You step into the shoes of the protagonist, Hiroshi, and navigate a romance intertwined with memories of first love, aiming to create a personal and poignant drama that resonates with your own experiences. Developed by Warp, this immersive auditory experience was released on July 18, 1997, across 4 Crudroms, and priced at 6,400 yen. The ad also notes that it was available for purchase at major convenience store chains like 7-Eleven and Family Mart, in addition to standard retailers. This page is a striking 2-page spread dedicated to Smonk's Samurai Showdown series, making its mark on the Sega Saturn. The left side promotes the Samurai Showdown RPG, known as Bushido Retsuden. It features a compelling, almost cinematic live-action image of a man in samurai attire, accompanied by text declaring the arrival of the Heisei Samurai and the birth of a samurai RPG. The text invites players to step into an era where samurai fought for pride and life, promising an adventure where you become the protagonist, believing only in your sword and yourself. Screenshots at the bottom give a glimpse of the top-down RPG exploration and battle scenes, confirming the shift in genre for the series. This title was already available for 6,800 yen. The right side focuses on the latest fighting game installment, Samurai Showdown.
IV Amakusa's Revenge.
This half features vibrant, classic anime artwork showcasing several key characters from the series, with Amakusa Shiro looming large, signifying his central role. The prominent vertical text dramatically announces the time of revival has come, and further text below the title explicitly states Amakusa Shiro's grudge has returned to the world, highlighting this Sega Saturn version as the Amakusa Revival chapter. This fighting game entry was scheduled for release on October 2nd. Together, the pages showcase SNK, bringing 2 very different takes on the popular Samurai Showdown universe to Saturn owners. This page dives into the world of 3D billiards with Side Pocket 3. The striking central image features a stylish woman poised with a cue next to a pool table, surrounded by scattered balls, immediately setting the scene for this polygon billiard game. The page highlights the unique Trick Mode, which offers a different kind of tense gameplay compared to standard billiards. Success in Trick Mode requires sinking the object ball with a single shot, hitting no obstacles, presenting various difficult and tricky challenges that test your mind. A key feature within this mode is the editor function, allowing players to create their own trick shots and challenge friends, promising hours of strategic fun. Screenshots show examples of elaborate trick shot setups and the editor interface. Additionally, there's a section titled Billiards Lecture Volume 2 Shot Edition, featuring charming cartoon illustrations explaining fundamental billiards techniques like the stop shot, push shot, mass, and draw shot. This seems designed to teach players core skills within the game. Side Pocket 3 was released for the Sega Saturn on July 18th for 5,800 yen, with a PlayStation version planned for release in the autumn. Published by Data East, this entry brought 3D graphics to the popular billiard series.
This page serves as the magazine's table of contents, dominated by a large advertisement for the Sega Saturn title Moon Cradle on the left and the issue's overall breakdown on the right. The Moon Cradle section highlights this theater adventure game, promoted as a revolutionary blend of original drama and adventure gameplay, featuring work by Joji Ida, known for Nighthead. It supports both Cinepack and MPEG video. The main contents detail the issue's articles, leading with a featured report on Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die. There's also an emergency report covering a collection of big Sega, Capcom, and Compile titles for Summer '97. Major features delve into Super Robot Wars, F, Grandia, Prelude, and Slayers Royal. The previews and strategy sections cover a variety of other games, including a large strategy guide for Dukyusei 2. Additional content includes news, rankings, and upcoming software information. This page serves as a major feature report on Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die. It highlights the game's setting in the imperial capital and promises many new romances. The page introduces 2 new characters joining the cast. Soletta Orihime, described as an Italian noble and opera actress, and Lenny Milchstrasse, a calm and intelligent boy from the Star Division. It also unveils the new combat uniforms for the returning main members of the Flower Division: Sakura Shinguji, Sumire Kanzaki, Iris, Maria Tachibana, Kana Kirishima, and Lee Koharan, shown in their updated outfits. Additionally, the page features a direct interview with game creator Prince Hiroi, where he discusses secrets about Sakura Wars 2 and the meaning behind its subtitle, Thou Shalt Not Die. A small table confirms the game is in development for the Sega Saturn. This page features a report from the Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die production announcement event, where the core development team gathered. Sega's executive vice president, Shoichiro Irimajiri, expressed confidence in the game reaching 1 million sales. General producer Prince Hiroi echoed this sentiment, stating the team's passion had revealed the path to exceeding that goal. Sega producer Norikatsu Opuba highlighted that the sequel powers up every aspect of the game, improving both simulation and adventure elements. Composer Kohei Tanaka is aiming to create true entertainment through the music, feeling the 14 new songs are the best yet. Character designer Kosuke Fujishima discussed the challenge of designing the new combat uniforms, and hopes this is work he can show his future children. Voice actors Kazue Ikura, Lenny, and Chisa Yokoyama, Sakura, shared their feelings on joining the cast and connecting with players. Finally, writer Satoru Akahori humorously commented on the immense workload, having already completed scripts for all 12 episodes, and discussed creating the new characters. The overall feeling is one of intense passion and high expectations for the sequel. This page delivers an urgent report on Sega Saturn's big titles lined up for Summer '97, highlighted by a joint announcement event from Sega, Capcom, and Compile. The major reveal is All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua Fighter, a collaboration celebrating AJPW's 25th anniversary. This game features legendary AJPW wrestlers like Giant Baba, Mitsuharu Misawa, Kenta Kobashi, and Stan Hansen, brought to life with detailed character models and realistic motion-captured movements, replicating their signature moves and presence. The excitement is amplified by the surprise appearance of Virtua Fighter's Wolf and Jeffrey, challenging the AJPW stars in dream matches. Beyond the ring, the report touches on Sega Saturn network developments, announcing X-Band compatible titles and introducing Words, a new online multiplayer RPG. The page showcases screenshots of the wrestling action, character selection, and the network RPG, giving a glimpse into the diverse lineup for Saturn fans. This page continues the Sega Saturn Big Titles collection for Summer '97, highlighting major announcements from Capcom and Compile. Capcom revealed highly anticipated arcade ports using the 4 MB RAM cartridge: Darkstalkers 3, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, and X-Men vs. Street Fighter. The magazine expresses strong excitement for these ports, noting the 4 MB RAM should ensure near-arcade perfection, particularly for the graphically intensive fighting games featuring tag battles and dazzling supers seen in the screenshots. X-Men vs. Street Fighter is expected first. Compile announced Madu Monogatari, Sorcery Saga, presented as the definitive version of the Dungeon RPG series, featuring party mechanics and Saturn-exclusive characters, along with Waku Waku Puyo Puyo Dungeon, a new dungeon crawler set in the Puyo Puyo universe. Finally, the unique multimedia title, I Miss You, is introduced, centered around music and featuring 2 distinct game experiences. The announcements show a diverse lineup, aiming to leverage Saturn's capabilities. This page is a deep dive into Super Robot Wars, focusing for Sega Saturn.
focusing on its meticulous attention to animated special attacks and new gameplay systems. The feature highlights the sheer scale of the game, covering numerous robots and characters, and showcases how the developers focused on detailed battle scene direction. New systems introduced include a character creation feature, allowing players to customize their protagonist's appearance from multiple portraits and adjust their stats. The article also previews stunning CG movies for transformations, such as Shin-Getter Robos, and showcases impressive map weapon animations, including the devastating Ideon sword and Master Asia's powerful Super King Hegemony beam bullet from D Gundam, promising cinematic battles true to their original series. The inclusion of unique system elements, like the sync rate for Evangelion units, is also touched upon, suggesting deeper strategic layers.
This page dives deeper into Super Robot Wars Fae, showcasing the vibrant power of its fanbase, alongside detailed looks at battle animations. The article highlights how special attacks meticulously recreate the atmosphere of the original series, demonstrating sequences like Combattler V's super electromagnetic spin and the iconic Shining Finger from Mobile Fighter's Big Gundam. Screenshots capture the dynamic energy and visual fidelity of these moves, complete with character dialogue during attacks. The page also features a large, fan illustration special feature, celebrating the passion of players by displaying submitted fan art from various series included in the game, confirming the August 29th release date, slightly delayed, and thanking fans for their enthusiastic contributions. Additionally, a Super Robot Memorial File segment offers a brief retrospective look at the classic series Dankuga, Super Beast Machine God, acknowledging its impact and characters. This page features a special project interview with legendary anime song artists Ichiro Mizuki and Hironobu Kageyama, musician Tsuno Guji, and Super Robot Wars F producer Takanobu Terada. The discussion focuses on the music featured in the game and the related Super Robot Tamashi Vocal Collection Robination.1 album. The artists share their experiences recording updated versions of classic robot anime themes like Mazinger Z and Getter Robo, reflecting on how anime music has become a distinct genre. They discuss the passion poured into the album, which includes cover songs and collaborations, and the producer provides insight into the challenges and rewards of incorporating vocals into the game while respecting fan expectations. The interviewees all express their deep connection to robot anime and the desire to keep its fervent spirit alive. The page includes photos of the individuals and the album cover.
This page features a special preview of the highly anticipated RPG, Grandia. The focus is on the demo version, titled Grandia Prelude, which offers fans an early look at the game before release. The page highlights that this demo is packed with content, including 4 modes that allow players to delve into the world and gameplay. Visuals include screenshots of the protagonists Justin, Sue, and Fina, exploring locations like a town and a dungeon,
as well as showcasing impressive cinematic scenes and the game's iconic large flying ship.
The text emphasizes that the demo's gameplay sections are nearly identical to the final product, allowing for a genuine taste of the adventure. The 4 modes featured in the demo are detailed: character introductions with voice acting, previews of event movies, the full opening movie, and playable town and dungeon exploration sections. This comprehensive demo promises a deep dive into Grandia's universe and gameplay mechanics. The magazine also announces a chance for readers to receive one of 3,000 copies of this special demo disc. Getting such a detailed preview of a massive RPG like Grandia would have been incredibly exciting for Saturn owners awaiting its release. This page delves further into the Grandia Prelude demo, showcasing the interactive town exploration segment. Players begin in the bustling town of Parm, where they can walk around with Justin and Sue. A key part of the demo involves a treasure hunt minigame hidden throughout the town, which cleverly highlights one of Grandia's most innovative features: the ability to freely rotate the camera 360 degrees using the L and R buttons. This perspective change is crucial for finding hidden items and secrets tucked away in the environment. The page also touches upon the demo's opening sequence aboard General Baal's impressive airship as it heads towards the Salt ruins, providing context for the adventure. Character profiles are included for 2 important figures encountered early on: the imposing General Baal and the cool Lieutenant Lean, complete with character art and voice actor information. The content makes it clear that the demo offers a substantial taste of the game's exploration and unique camera mechanics. This page shifts focus from exploration to the core combat experience in the Grandia Prelude demo. It highlights that players can engage in battles against enemies encountered in the dungeon area, specifically the volcanic region known as Fire Mountain. The game features a dynamic, ultimate action battle system, where combat unfolds in real time. Turns are determined by character speed and progress on an IP gauge. The page outlines the basic flow. Encountering an enemy initiates combat, characters act based on their speed and IP gauge progression, and victory yields experience and gold. Key battle commands demonstrated include basic combo attacks and critical attacks, which are weaker but can strategically interrupt enemy actions. The tactical element of watching the IP gauge to anticipate enemy moves and select commands is emphasized. The demo also showcases specific skills and magic available to the playable characters. Justin can unleash his powerful V/skill. Fina demonstrates the devastating area effect magic Burn.
Sue provides support with her Puffy skill, which recovers party HP. Character art is included, with Justin and Sue encouraging players to learn their abilities, while Fina promises to be a key player herself. This page makes it clear the demo provides a solid taste of Grandia's engaging and strategic battle mechanics.
This page provides a final comprehensive look at Slayers Royal, an RPG based on the popular anime and novel series, just before its release. It covers the game's visuals and battle system in detail. The article highlights the finished battle mode, explaining how combat unfolds in rounds, with characters acting based on their speed and strategic command selections. Battles can occur during story events, while traveling between towns on the world map, or transitioning from the adventure mode within towns. The game also features stunning full-screen opening animation sequences. A section introduces the main characters who join Lena Inverse and Guri Gabriev in the party. Familiar faces like Naga the Serpent, Zelgadis Greywords, Amelia Will Tesla Saloon, and Silfiel Nels Lahada are presented, alongside original characters Luke and Milbadia, forming a robust group for the adventure. The article also briefly touches on how character parameters can change through events and actions during gameplay.
This page details the next steps in the Slayers Royal adventure, picking up after the events from the previous section. The journey moves from Sonia City to Izel City, covering various key locations and plot points along the way. In Sonia City, the party meets Zelgadis Greywords, who has a similar objective and joins the group. They investigate a ghost phenomenon and recover a stolen item. A quest for a magical potion involves Lena's reaction to its description and a fight. They also encounter Amelia, a powerful sorceress, leading to a significant battle. The search for the magical society proves difficult, but ultimately leads them towards their next destination, Saloon. Leaving Sonia City, the party travels towards Barkland. Along the way, they encounter bandits on a suspension bridge.
In Barkland, they gather information, learning about ruins in the southern forest said to be Lurk's hometown, where Markwells is also involved. The area is overrun with demons, and finding surviving elves becomes a concern.
The journey continues to Izel City, a town known for its lake.
Investigations into the northern side of Lake Izel reveal suspicious information about fish-like humanoids and trolls. The city's inns are full, forcing the party into a peculiar one where strange zombie activity occurs. Amelia, revealed as a witch, reacts strongly to the situation. The overall content provides a good overview of the game's next chapter, highlighting character interactions, battles, and emerging mysteries. This page dives deep into the Sega Saturn version of Last Bronx, giving a comprehensive preview just before its release. The main artwork features two key characters, Koji and Joe, engaged in combat, surrounded by chibi versions of the game's cast. The article highlights several updates and changes from the arcade version. It discusses the addition of a new bonus stage called the Brilliant Room, which features unique lighting effects. New visual effects, such as character shadows on the ground, are also implemented. There's a section focusing on the content included on the special disc, likely detailing extra features or modes. The article concludes with a discussion speculating on the identity and nature of two mysterious opponents encountered in the combattle mode, revealed to be characters named Gray and Metal, built with a distinctive appearance. Screenshots showcase gameplay on various stages, including the new bonus stage and content from the special disc.
This page details the impressive content packed into the two-disc Sega Saturn release of Last Bronx, showcasing its various modes and improvements over the arcade version. The first disc, the arcade disc, provides a faithful port of the original arcade experience with arcade mode and a dedicated versus mode for player battles. The game offers extensive options for customizing settings like difficulty, time limits, and controls. The second disc, the special disc, introduces exclusive Saturn content, including survival mode, where damage carries over between rounds, and time attack mode focused on speedruns. The watch mode lets you observe calm versus calm battles, potentially useful for studying strategies.
A movie mode allows players to view unlocked animation scenes. The core of the special disc is the Saturn mode, which features a unique battle flow with random opponent order, character-specific dialogue before the final boss, red eye, and original endings not found in the arcade. The reviewer praises the sheer volume and variety of modes, calling it a satisfying package, suitable for players of all skill levels. The page also teases a deeper look into the special disc content on the next page. This page dives deep into the last Bronx special disc, calling it an entrance-use favorite disc that makes the manual obsolete. It's structured into 3 key areas, designed to help players master the game. First, the self-introduction corner features charming chibi versions of the cast: Tommy, Yoji, Ken, Lisa, Dai, Tsubame, Nagi, Toru, Jiro, and Red Eye, providing character profiles and weapon details, all delivered with full voice acting. Next is the Last Bronx Classroom, which teaches fundamental game mechanics, from basic moves to advanced concepts like canceling and air combos, using both spoken explanations and practical demonstrations. Finally, the Last Bronx Dojo acts as a comprehensive training mode, starting with novice lessons on basic commands and unique character techniques, moving to intermediate practice on crucial skills like attack canceling, and concluding with a free mode for unlimited practice against a dummy opponent. The content creators view this disc as an excellent, beginner-friendly resource that satisfies fans by letting them enjoy interactions with the characters and learn the game extensively. The page also teases a long interview in the next issue to commemorate the game's release. This page provides a dynamic preview of Pro Soccer Club Wotsukuru 2. Let's make a Pro Soccer Club 2, showcasing exciting new features developed based on user feedback from the previous installment. The content highlights how player input has expanded the gameplay. The game introduces enhanced club editing with more options and completely new uniform designs. A significant improvement is the condensed match view, which now provides much more detail than before, showing player movement, possession, and even tracking who passed and scored, making the flow of the game much easier to follow. Goal celebrations are amplified with large goal text appearing on screen, adding to the excitement. New weather effects are implemented, including rain, which impacts gameplay and players' condition. This adds a strategic layer, suggesting the need for stadiums with roofs in rainy areas. PK shootouts are also visually represented. Player development is deepened with the study abroad system, allowing players to be sent to different regions like Europe, South America, and Africa, each offering unique training benefits. The concept of rival clubs is introduced. These clubs progress alongside yours in the league, adding a layer of competition when acquiring players. Player acquisition is also more nuanced, allowing you to specify the position of the player you are scouting for. The preview emphasizes these new elements create a more realistic and engaging simulation experience. This page gives us a look at 2 Sega Saturn titles. On the left, we see Night Truth, an adventure game focused on the paranormal. The artwork features a cheerful anime girl in a school uniform, posed against a mystical backdrop with a magical circle and swirling energy. The title promises an explanation of the paranormal, and mentions uncovering the 2 truths. Small screenshots hint at character interactions and perhaps some supernatural elements. It was slated for release in July 1997. On the right, we get a scoop on Desire. This title is highlighted for its use of lucid motion, touted as a new powerful animation style for the Saturn, showcased through several dynamic screenshots of a blonde anime girl in action. This is also an adventure game.
It was scheduled for a September release.
The focus here is clearly on the visual presentation and smooth animation, aiming to set a new standard for the genre on the platform. This page continues our deep dive into Desire on the Sega Saturn, showcasing its cutting-edge animation technology. The feature highlights the Lucid Motion engine, a powerful video playback tool superior to Cinepack and TrueMotion, first utilized in Eve for Windows 95. The article praises the engine's ability to deliver smooth, high-quality animation that sets a new standard for the genre on the Saturn. We get a closer look at the game's visuals through numerous screenshots. These demonstrate expressive character movements and dynamic scenes, particularly featuring the protagonist, Makoto. The gameplay is confirmed to be a command-based adventure game, similar to Eve, with dialogue windows displaying character portraits as the story unfolds. Key characters like Al, Tina, and others are introduced through these screens, hinting at the game's dramatic narrative and complex relationships. The text suggests intrigue surrounding characters like Al and the technical director Makoto, promising a story filled with secrets and confrontations. Action shots also imply intense moments, showcasing the engine's capability for dynamic visuals beyond static dialogue scenes. The overall impression is excitement for a visually impressive and story-rich adventure title, pushing the limits of the Saturn's capabilities.
This page features an in-depth look at the unique Sega Saturn adventure game, Real Sound, Kaze no Regret. The highlight is an interview with actress Narisa Yuki, one of the game's voice cast members. She shares her impressions of the game's unusual audio-only format, finding the pure love story refreshing compared to typical horror or suspense titles. Yuki also comments on the script and praises the performance of director Inuma, who voiced all the male roles. She discusses her approach to voice acting for a game without visuals, focusing on conveying presence and emotion through sound alone, noting techniques like moving closer to the microphone for intimate scenes. The article emphasizes the game's core concept, playing with your eyes closed. It details how the rich, high-quality sound design, including environmental effects and music by Kenji Ino, is the sole medium for the story, immersing the player through audio cues that guide navigation and progression. It also explains the branching decision system, triggered by sounds like chimes, where players select choices using directional buttons, leading to 5 different endings. The game supports autosave and allows players to revisit decision points, offering convenience for exploring different paths. Additionally, the page announces a giveaway of signed shikishi boards from Narisa Yuki for readers. A small profile for Yuki is included, listing some of her previous work in TV dramas and films. This page dives deeper into the unique experience of Real Sound, Kaze no Regret, by featuring feedback from readers who tried the demo version. Many were initially surprised by the audio-only format, but found themselves immersed and emotionally connected to the story presented purely through sound. The feedback highlights how the game effectively evokes imagery and feeling, often surpassing expectations and leading to increased interest in purchasing the full game. The page also details special promotional campaigns tied to the game. One involves a Grow Herbs project, where players receive herb seeds with the limited edition and can participate in a photo contest. Another offers a music box, playing the game's theme song as a prize for submitting photos related to Real Sound. Finally, the page points readers to the official website for the latest information, and mentions a special radio program on Tokyo FM, featuring the game's director Kenji Ino, voice actors, and staff, offering yet another avenue to experience the world of this innovative title, focused entirely on sound and narrative. The page is adorned with a prominent illustration of the game's main character. This page features Asuka 120% Limited, a fighting game known for its all-female cast set against the backdrop of a school cultural festival. The article introduces the game as the latest entry in the popular Asuka 120% series, now appearing on the Saturn, highlighting the passionate club activities of the girls. Key characters are introduced, including Hanuma Asuka, the chemistry club representative, described as a dark horse mastering the club's secret techniques. Toyota Karya, the biology club representative, is also featured, known for her rivalry with Asuka and her pet frog, Keropion. The article touches on the game's system, mentioning features like time count, body gauge, health, and the distinctive burning gauge, which builds up and allows for powerful final attacks, or a 120% state-boosting attack power. The reviewer seems excited about the accessible controls and enjoyable combo system, building upon the solid foundation of previous titles. Screenshots showcase the fast-paced combat and the vibrant school festival stages. This page features a special report on the RPG titled Loose, tentative name, an adventure challenging uncharted dungeons. The game centers around exploring active dungeons that randomly change their layout each time you enter, all while solving mysteries. It aims to be accessible to beginners, with an easy-to-understand system and charming characters. The protagonist is a young treasure hunter named Luce, who lives with his brother figure Chobi, and is searching for his father, Gossam, who disappeared 5 years ago. His quest begins after meeting Tenten, a lost creature who seems to hold a clue. Gameplay involves navigating randomly generated dungeons, battling monsters in turn-based combat, and using an intuitive icon-based interface for actions. There are 2 types of dungeons: field dungeons encountered during travel, and event dungeons that appear under specific conditions. A unique mastery system is highlighted, which increases as you defeat enemies, and, unlike standard levels, does not reset, providing a persistent benefit to players, making subsequent adventures easier. The preview emphasizes the game's replayability,
due to the random dungeon generation, and points out the appeal of the cute character designs, including Luce, the mysterious Chobi, and the enigmatic Tenten. The game was noted to be early in development at the time of this report. This page features a special report on Dodonpachi, the intense sequel to the popular arcade shooter Donpachi, which is confirmed for a Sega Saturn port. The game evolves the Get Point system from its predecessor, rewarding players with massive combo bonuses for continuously destroying enemies. Mastering this system, which involves keeping the GP meter active, is key to achieving high scores amidst the game's signature bullet hell patterns, where the screen fills with enemy fire. A particularly exciting mechanic highlighted is the ability to convert enemy bullets into score items by using the spread bomber on bosses or large enemies. This creates visually stunning moments and is crucial for maximizing points. The report also details the 3 playable ships, Taipei, Taipeb, and Taipec, each offering a distinct playstyle by allowing players to enhance either their standard shot or laser. Taipei is fast but has a narrow shot. Taipeb allows directional firing with its options and has wide coverage, while Taipec offers the widest shot coverage with its options but is slower and weaker. The choice of ship significantly impacts strategy in navigating the dense enemy formations and bullet barrages characteristic of caves-demanding shooters. This page features a special report on the highly anticipated horror adventure game, Resident Evil: Biohazard. It highlights the terrifying return of zombies and the desperate fight for survival within a mysterious mansion. The article sets the stage with the game's premise, involving a special forces team investigating strange occurrences. Players can choose between Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine, each possessing unique skills that influence how you approach the mansion's horrors and puzzles. Chris is stronger in combat, while Jill excels at using tools and navigating obstacles.
Survival depends on utilizing their specific talents effectively.
The combat section shows tense encounters with the game's gruesome creatures, emphasizing the challenge of fighting in confined spaces and managing limited resources like ammunition. The report also introduces Barry Burton, a veteran member of the team who assists the player. The article builds anticipation for the Saturn release, promising faithful recreation of the original game's atmosphere and horror. This page continues the deep dive into Resident Evil, focusing on its narrative depth and character interactions. It highlights the multi-scenario system, explaining that player choices during conversations and exploration lead to significant branching paths and influence which of the 3 endings you might see. The section features Albert Wesker, emphasizing his role in these crucial decisions. The sub-character section introduces supporting characters like Rebecca Chambers, stressing their importance to the protagonist's survival and the unfolding mystery. These characters provide valuable information and sometimes assistance, their unique knowledge and skills being vital in the desperate situation. Screenshots illustrate moments involving these characters and the choices faced by the player. The main visual promotes the game's Sega Saturn release, featuring the iconic Biohazard title and portraits of key characters, confirming the release date of July 25, 1997. This page dives into the cosmic clash of Marvel superheroes. It highlights the game as a hit arcade fighter making its way to the Sega Saturn. The core mechanics are showcased, focusing on the unique Infinity Gem system, where players can acquire powerful stones mid-battle for special effects like invincibility or increased damage. The game system is described as going beyond traditional fighters, featuring aerial raves, pursuit attacks, and chain combos. A significant portion introduces the cast of 10 heroes and villains. Profiles detail characters like Captain America, Hulk, Magneto, Juggernaut, Iron Man, Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Shumagorath, along with lesser-known characters like Psylocke and Blackheart. Each character profile includes a brief description and a signature move, illustrated by screenshots, demonstrating their unique abilities and playstyles. The page emphasizes the distinct personalities and powers brought to the fighting arena. The game's release date and basic specs are also listed.
This page focuses on the advanced combat system in Marvel superheroes, detailing techniques like the aerial rave and powerful combination combos. It explains how players can launch opponents into the air and continue attacking with chain combos, or pursue fallen enemies for additional damage. The page features numerous screenshots demonstrating these complex moves and combo sequences using characters such as Captain America, Wolverine, Magneto, Psylocke, and Hulk. A dedicated bonus section provides visual guides for executing specific, high-damage combos. The release date and standard price for the Sega Saturn version are also included. The next page is a double feature, showcasing both the upcoming Studio Ghibli film Princess Mononoke
and the Sega Saturn release of the fighting game Marvel Superheroes. On the left, we see stunning artwork from Princess Mononoke, highlighting the protagonist's Saturn and a large wolf spirit. The page promotes the film directed by Hayao Miyazaki, noting its release date of July 12th. It also lists a variety of related books and merchandise available, including art books, film comics, and novels, building anticipation for the film's premiere. The right side announces the Sega Saturn version of Capcom's Marvel Superheroes, featuring dramatic artwork of Iron Man and 2 gameplay screenshots. It confirms the release date of August 8th with a standard price of 5,800 yen. This game brings the action-packed world of Marvel Comics to the fighting genre, letting players control iconic heroes and villains in superpowered combat. This page features a striking image of a young woman advertising 4 Sega Saturn games from Hudson Soft, presented as Summer's 4 Sizes. The letters B, W, H, and M, typically referencing body measurements, are linked to the initial letters of the 4 featured games, adding a playful, suggestive marketing angle. The games showcased are Willy Wombat, a 360-degree action game with dark fantasy elements; Bulk Slash, a shooting game featuring mech combat and a unique romance system with beautiful girl navigators offering multiple endings; Momotaro Duchuki, a game based on the classic Momotaro story, set in the Edo period and described as featuring powerful Bonbi elements, hinting at the series' blend of RPG and board game mechanics; Hayaku Monogatari, 100 Ghost Stories, a horror title based on a collection of ghost stories, promising an immersive and terrifying experience. Each game is presented with its box art and screenshots, highlighting its genre and visual style. The page promotes these 4 titles as the must-play Hudson games for the summer season, using the model and the 4 sizes theme to grab attention. This page showcases 2 exciting upcoming Sega Saturn releases. On the left is Slayers Royal, an exclusive role-playing game featuring the beloved characters from the popular Slayers anime and light novel series, including Lena Inverse, Gori Gabriev, and Naga the Serpent. The page highlights the action-packed battle scenes and beautiful anime-style visuals, promising a dream collaboration of characters from both Slayers and Slayers Special. It's positioned as a must-have title for fans, with chibi-style 3D models of the main trio featured prominently. The game was set for release on July 25th. The right side presents Lupin III Chronicles, a special 30th anniversary collection celebrating the iconic anime franchise. This 2-disc Chronodrom set for the Sega Saturn serves as a comprehensive database covering the history, characters, sound, and opening/ending movies from various Lupin III TV series, movies, and specials. It promises to reveal new charm from the long history of the series. The release was scheduled for August 8th, with initial prints offering 3 different package variations and a bonus sticker set. A campaign also offered chances to win rare items like original key animation art. This page features 2 distinct announcements for the Sega Saturn. On the left, we have a vibrant spread for Yukyu Gensokyoku, known internationally as Eternal Melody. This Sega Saturn exclusive visual novel/simulation game presents a large cast of anime characters, posed together under the intriguing title Happy End, Who Do You See It With? It highlights the charming character designs by Mu, the same artist behind Eternal Melody 2 and Eternal Melody 3. The page provides details on its release date, July 18, 1997, priced at 5,800 yen, and mentions associated radio broadcasts and merchandise. The right side offers a cryptic teaser from Sierra Pioneer and Luce. An image of a cracking egg with the name Luce imprinted on it is accompanied by the phrase, 1998 Spring. What we've been waiting for is coming. This serves as an early announcement for an upcoming game from the PC visual novel developer Luce, hinting at their arrival or a new title on the Sega Saturn platform in the spring of 1998. This page presents announcements for 2 exciting titles. On the left, Jaleco reveals details for the Sega Saturn version of Ninja Jejemaru-kun, Onigiri Ninpushu. This 3D action game, already available on PlayStation, is scheduled for a September 25th release on the Saturn. The page features screenshots showcasing the game's diverse environments and the protagonist's acrobatic moves and combat. The right side announces that the Super Dimension Fortress Macross, Do You Remember Love?, is now on sale for the Sega Saturn. This title brings the classic animated film to life, featuring striking character artwork and intense 3D sequences of mecha and space combat centered around the film's iconic love song. Below, there's also a brief mention of a video release related to Sakura Taisen. This page features announcements for upcoming or recently released items. On the left, there's an advertisement for the Sega Saturn 3D mission shooting game, Finalist, detailing its release date of August 8, 1997, and its standard price of 5,800 yen, alongside screenshots and a promotional offer for a cool pad controller. The right side announces the launch of a new monthly game magazine titled Game Clash, promoting its inaugural issue currently on sale for 590 yen, and highlighting feature articles including a critique of dating simulation games by a popular host and a nostalgic look back at the Famicom era. This page showcases an exciting mix of a new game release and a major event. On the left, you find a vibrant advertisement for Digital Age, Cyber Angel SS, a beautiful Bishoujo adventure game that's currently available. Featuring stunning character art and a cast of voice actors, this title brings a unique end-of-the-century fantasy to the Sega Saturn. Dominating the right side is the announcement for the Toyota and Sega Racing Festa 97. This large-scale summer event is a collaboration between Sega and Toyota, taking place at various Joyopolis and Sega Arena locations across Japan. Attendees can participate in a racing stamp rally, check out the Toyota Race Queen exhibit, explore a virtual pit area, and even see actual race cars like the Saint 185 Celica and JGTC Supra. There's also a luxurious present campaign, giving fans a chance to win prizes like a Sega Saturn console or even a Toyota Cavalier Coupe just by answering a quiz. It's a packed event designed to get fans hyped up with a blend of racing action and fun activities. The center section lists the magazine's own features, the Kingdom of Saturn, covering various news, rankings, and game data.
This page is a multi-purpose reader interaction page from Saturn Fan Magazine, primarily serving as a mail-in form for contests, surveys, and fan contributions. It provides sections for readers to fill in personal details like name, address, age, and gender. A significant part of the page is dedicated to gathering feedback, including numbered options for rankings or survey responses, and a detailed game list. This list allows readers to rank or score various Sega Saturn titles, featuring a mix of Japanese exclusives and international releases such as Willy Wombat, Karnov's Revenge, listed here as Fighter's History Dynamite, and MLBPA Baseball. It also includes Digital Age, Cyber Angel SS, which was featured on the previous page, indicating reader interest in newer titles. The form also includes space for general comments or contributions to specific fan corners within the magazine, encouraging direct engagement with the readership and facilitating entry into gift campaigns. This page features a dynamic mix of news, contests, and media highlights for Sega Saturn fans. There's a campaign celebrating the movie My Neighbor Totoro, offering related merchandise as prizes. We also get the latest details on the Tokyo Game Show 97 Autumn, including information on the large exhibition space and an art contest for original game concepts. On the media front, new book releases are covered, including one focused on the life of game creator Kenji Iino, known for titles like Parappa the Rapper. Music releases feature prominently with remix albums for popular Sega titles, Nights into Dreams, and various Sega racing games. Contests abound, including an opportunity for fans to become cosplay models for the game Fighting Vipers. There's also news on a special advance ticket for the Slayer's Great Movie that comes bundled with a mini-game keychain. Hardware is featured with a look at a Samsung 14-inch television specifically designed for gaming. Other items include coverage of a radio show recording and the announcement of the voice actor for Yuki in The King of Fighters 97 from a recent audition. The page concludes with various reader giveaways and contest winner announcements. This page delves into the heart of the Sega Saturn scene, with comprehensive game rankings. Based on both actual sales data and fan surveys, it provides a snapshot of what was popular and what players were hoping for. The Saturn sales charts are presented for 2 consecutive weeks. In the first week, Sonic Jam took the top spot, showing the enduring appeal of Sega's mascot, with other new releases also making an impact. The following week saw the launch of titles like Shin Samurai Spirits, Samurai Showdown 2-1, and Quiz Nanero Dreams, which climbed to the top, shifting the sales landscape while Sonic Jam remained high on the list. Moving beyond sales, the page features anticipated game rankings based on reader popularity. Top titles here include highly awaited sequels and ports like Super Robot Wars F, Slayers Royal 3, and the newly released adventure game Yuno, A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World, indicating strong interest in future releases across various genres. Perhaps most revealing is the Port Wish ranking, showing what games Saturn owners desperately wanted to see on their console. Topping this list was Neon Genesis Evangelion, Girlfriend of Steel,
despite games like Vampire Savior, Darkstalkers 3, also receiving significant votes. An accompanying article expands on these desires, highlighting the strong calls for ports of major titles like Resident Evil 2, and expressing hope for more games from developers like Gainax to make their way to the Saturn.
This page presents the reader-voted rankings and reviews for recent Sega Saturn titles, highlighting games based on fan polls rather than just sales data. Taking the top spot is Jaleco's quirky shooter game Tengoku, celebrated for its varied shooting stages and the inclusion of a unique karaoke mode. Readers praised its fun factor, and the generous Unlimited continues. Coming in second is Bandai Visual's adaptation of the classic anime film, Macross, Do You Remember Love? This rail shooter is highly praised for its faithful recreation of the movie's iconic scenes, stunning visuals, and impressive audio, capturing the essence of the Macross universe, despite some comments on difficulty. The page features condensed reviews from readers, offering insights into the games, alongside brief comments from the developers, thanking fans, and discussing the titles. This section provides a direct look at what resonated with Saturn players at the time. This page continues the reader-voted rankings, presenting games from 3rd to 7th place. Claiming the 3rd spot is Eberouge, a popular dating simulation title. Reader feedback covered a range of experiences, from enjoying the depth of the simulation and character interactions, to finding certain events lacking depth. Developers thanked fans, highlighting their focus on enriching the story and events. Ranked 4th is Fishing Koshien 2, a fishing simulation game. Players noted its simple yet engaging gameplay structure and the variety of characters and fishing environments. Developer comments emphasized the game's detailed visuals and realistic fishing mechanics aimed at both newcomers and experienced anglers. Taking 5th place is Skull Fung Kugaiden, a shooting game with a unique system. Players were impressed by its distinct shooting mechanics and visual presentation, though some felt the overall experience became repetitive. The developers expressed their aim to create a new style of shooting game with intricate systems and visual flair. At 6th place is the fighting game DX Hired. The game received praise for its detailed character graphics and backgrounds, but some feedback pointed out issues with input responsiveness and the game's speed. The developers mentioned their goal was a fighting game with dynamic character movement and aggressive attack options. Finally, ranking 7th is J.League Go Go Goal, a soccer game. Players found the game lacking in modes and depth, with some critical of the control responsiveness and AI behavior. The developer team explained their focus on intuitive controls and a fun, accessible soccer experience. This page continues the reader rankings, presenting the games voted into the 8th, 9th, and 10th positions. Claiming the 8th spot is 3 Dirty Dwarfs. Readers were drawn to the game's distinctive packaging and atmosphere. Though some felt the gameplay content itself lacked variety over time, the developers commented on their efforts to integrate the story, characters, and world elements into the gameplay experience. Ranked 9th is Impact Racing. Players highlighted the exciting camera perspective shifts and the feeling of speed during boosts, but some found the controls less intuitive or the game less engaging overall. The developers aim to create a fast-paced and immersive racing game. Taking 10th place is Japan Pro Mahjong Federation certified Michibiki. Readers appreciated the realistic mahjong gameplay and the inclusion of a training mode, although some found the complexity of the rules made it quite challenging. The developers stated their intention was a deep mahjong experience, suitable for both beginners and experienced players. The page also features an application section for a reader survey, offering participants a chance to win gift certificates by providing feedback on the magazine. Below this is the form for submitting survey responses, requesting personal details. Additionally, there is a call for readers to submit game reviews, with prizes awarded for published entries, and a list of games they are currently looking for reviews on. This page presents a comprehensive reader survey, delving into lifestyle details, media consumption, interests, and purchasing preferences. However, the primary feature is a detailed strategy guide for the adventure game Dukyusei 2. Prominently displayed with attractive character artwork, the guide offers deep insights into the game's romance system, including basic knowledge, the flow of relationships, area maps like the town and school, and how to reach special locations like the hot springs. A significant portion is dedicated to individual strategies for the game's many potential romantic interests, detailing the actions needed to progress with each of the 15+ alpha heroines, right up to the January 1st deadline. A game data table provides essential information, including the release date, publisher,
price of 7,900 yen, the adventure genre, and a recommended age rating of 18 years or older. The next page continues, the comprehensive strategy guide for the dating simulation game Dukyusei 2, focusing on the mechanics of developing relationships. It outlines the step-by-step process, from simply walking around town to meet girls and understanding their appearance patterns, to engaging in conversations and making choices that impact their affection levels. The guide highlights the significance of special graphic events, and even delves into the love scene events and the necessary follow-up actions. A detailed map of the main setting, Hachijuhachi Town, is included, marking key locations. It also explains how to obtain a diary item, use the mood room to check character affection, and gather hints from specific characters. Finally, it provides details on the conditions required to challenge the in-game Quiz Brothers. The page is richly illustrated, with screenshots demonstrating gameplay, conversations, and special character artwork. The next page continues, the comprehensive guide for Dukyusei 2, diving into specific locations and key events. It maps out the Hachijuhachi Academy school building, detailing accessible rooms like the infirmary, faculty room, and art room, the latter being where you'll meet the unique wall fairy. Be warned, getting caught in the school after dark costs 1,000 yen to advance time using the dream fairy. The guide also reveals hidden money locations throughout the school. A major highlight is the mandatory winter solstice hot spring trip, from December 28th to 29th. While the game asks you to pick a partner, this event includes all 7 main girls, and is crucial for progressing their individual stories and unlocking special graphics. The page details how to trigger the event via a phone call from Akira on the 28th and shows the departure scene from Hachijuhachi Station on the 29th. It specifically spotlights the appealing bath and leisure scenes for Akira, Tomomomi, and Yoko, emphasizing the visual rewards of attending. The guide also introduces Kisaragi Town, accessible by train. Though it has few enterable buildings, it's another source of hidden cash and offers the most reliable way to earn money. A part-time job at the construction site, paying 800 yen per shift. Key locations in Kisaragi, including the shrine and arcade, are mapped out. This section ensures players know where to go and how to manage their finances effectively.
This page continues the comprehensive guide for Dukyusei 2, focusing on the character Yui. It details her specific events and important dates from late December into the new year. Key points include how to obtain Yui's diary by visiting specific locations after winter break starts. The guide maps out Yui's movements between December 22nd and 24th, visiting various town spots and encountering other characters. Crucial events highlighted are meeting Ryunosuke in the kitchen on Christmas Eve, 12/24, a suspicious date sighting involving Yui and Nishimoto, 12/2528, and persistent encounters with Nishimoto around town which affect Yui's story progression, 12/29. The page also covers Yui's changing feelings around December 30th, and her significant confession to Ryunosuke on December 31st. The guide concludes this section with a New Year's Day event on January 1st, showing Yui inviting the protagonist. The screenshots throughout the page depict Yui in various scenes corresponding to these events, including resting in the kitchen, on a date, and in New Year's attire, providing visual context for her story path. This page continues the in-depth guide for the classic dating sim, Dukyusei 2, this time focusing on the character Mizuno Tomomi. The guide provides a detailed walkthrough of Tomomi's story events, spanning from late December through the new year. Tomomi is introduced as a childhood friend plagued by significant worries, with a mysterious connection to the character Yoshiki. Her events are concentrated around the Hachihachi district. The guide details key interactions, starting with a planned date around December 22nd to 25th that goes awry, leading to Tomomi apologizing later. Her presence shifts to various locations from December 26th onwards, including expanding her movements to Kisaragi Town around the 27th and 28th. A poignant event on the 29th involves finding Tomomi crying by the coast, highlighting her distress. The narrative progresses through investigating the root cause of her troubles, strongly implicating Yoshiki. Events include dream sequences, examining suspicious photos on the 31st, and a confrontation involving Yoshiki that same day. The path culminates in a hopeful New Year's Day event on January 1st, where you see Tomomi in traditional New Year's attire. The screenshots throughout the page visually track Tomomi's journey, showing her changing expressions and locations, from her initial cheerful appearance to moments of deep sadness by the sea, scenes related to the investigation, and finally, her appearance in vibrant New Year's clothing. It's a complex path uncovering her hidden struggles.
This page features a walkthrough for another character in Dukyusei 2, Sakuragi Izumi. Known for her energetic and somewhat tomboyish personality, the guide outlines the path to her ending, starting with the initial meeting and events leading up to a planned movie date on December 28th. The narrative highlights her connection to the protagonist and a humorous moment involving a friend potentially getting involved in the date plans. The guide then details the date itself, where you watch a horror movie with Izumi. This leads into the crucial event of inviting her on a hot spring trip, which she eventually accepts. The trip is shown as a period of deepening connection, featuring skiing and enjoying the open-air bath together. The climax of her route occurs during this trip, where a significant emotional moment unfolds, leading to her confession and the acceptance of her feelings. The path concludes with seeing Izumi in beautiful traditional New Year's attire on January 1st, marking a successful conclusion to her story arc. The page uses screenshots and key dates to guide the player through Izumi's route, emphasizing her blend of tomboyish charm and underlying femininity. This page delves into the routes of two other key characters in Dukyusei 2. On the left, we have the walkthrough for Maijima Kana, the popular super idol. The guide highlights the importance of meeting her frequently between December 22nd and 25th at various locations, including her home, the talent agency, and the park. A significant event involves receiving a ticket to her public recording as a thank you. Later, between the 26th and 28th, there's a rather infamous segment involving a panty photo taken by Yoshiki at Kana's house, requiring a specific choice. The route also covers attending the public recording on the 27th and an event on the 26th, where Kana is absent from school. The right side focuses on the mysterious woman and a Saturn-exclusive side story called Hikari's Hidden Nature. This section details how encountering the mysterious woman frequently between December 22nd and 27th leads to crucial events, even if direct conversation isn't possible initially. Her true identity is revealed on the 28th as Hikari, the manager of the protagonist's sister, implying a connection to the talent agency. The guide then touches upon Hikari's difficult past between the 29th and 30th. The route culminates on January 1st with Misako's Happy News, where it's revealed that Hikari's wish for Kana to win the Idol Grand Prize was granted, connecting back to the Idol storyline. The page uses screenshots to illustrate key moments in both Kana's and Hikari's paths. The next page continues the walkthrough for Dukyusei 2, focusing on the biker girl character, Yoko Minamikawa. The guide details her route through late December and into the new year. The walkthrough covers key events like getting to know Yoko, understanding her worries about her future, and listening to her confession. Important checkpoints and dates are highlighted, showing where and when to meet her, including locations like the gym, her home, the park, the arcade, and the beach. The screenshots illustrate moments of interaction between the protagonist and Yoko, often featuring her distinctive motorcycle. The guide also touches upon navigating challenges in the relationship and ultimately reaching a resolution, culminating in a special scene viewing the first sunrise of the year together. The page emphasizes the progression of understanding Yoko's character and her feelings throughout her specific route. The next page continues the comprehensive guide for Dukyusei 2, shifting focus from Yoko Minamikawa to the sensitive music student, Kozue Sugimoto. This section details her route from mid-December through early January. The guide explains that Kozue is easily hurt and requires careful apologies. It covers key events and dates, starting with initial meetings at the library and making tennis plans around December 22nd to 24th. Screenshots show interactions at the library and tennis court. The walkthrough progresses to a tennis meeting on the 25th, followed by a movie invitation and a date on the 27th. It highlights a crucial moment where Kozue gets drunk and collapses, requiring the protagonist, Ryunosuke, to take care of her. The latter part of the route, from December 29th into January, focuses on resolving misunderstandings. Kozue avoids Ryunosuke, and the player must persistently track her down at various locations, like the convenience store, rooftop, travel agency, and school. The guide emphasizes that only through consistent effort and sincere apologies can the player regain her trust and achieve the desired ending by early January. The screenshots depict these various encounters and the emotional progression of Kozue's route. The next page shifts focus within the Dukyusei 2 guide to Misuzu Kataoka, a teacher who is presented as a potential romantic target rather than just an instructor. The guide highlights that Misuzu is working during the winter break and can be found in the staff room on even days or out and about on odd days. Her route detailed here covers events from late December through New Year's Eve. Key moments involve witnessing Misuzu's troubled relationship, specifically her arguments with her lover at various locations like a park, a shrine, and a hotel. The walkthrough emphasizes the importance of being persistent and finding her quickly,
particularly around December 29th, when she moves between the station hotel and its lobby after a third quarrel. The climax of Misuzu's route occurs on New Year's Eve, December 31st, when she breaks up with her lover. The guide points out this is a crucial opportunity to comfort her. If you take strong action when she gets drunk and expresses her sadness, you can take her to a hotel room. The page includes several screenshots depicting these emotional scenes, from witnessing the quarrels to Misuzu crying in the hotel room, showing the progression of her difficult path. Ultimately, being there for Misuzu during her heartbreak is the key to advancing this route. This page dives into the route for Amy Yasuda in Dukyusei 2. A kindergarten teacher, Amy, is presented as a target who requires active support and building trust to win over. The guide details events spanning from late December into the new year. It highlights the protagonist's efforts to check in on Amy and protect her from the persistent and forceful advances of another character, Tendis. Key moments involve helping Amy through her troubles, aiding a child named Hiroshi with a Christmas wish, and even a dramatic scene where the protagonist saves another child, Yuri, from an accident. As the story progresses, the focus shifts to Amy dealing with Tendis' unwelcome attention, leading to a pivotal confrontation where Tendis is rejected. This opens the door for Amy to finally open up to the protagonist, culminating in her confession. The page shows screenshots illustrating these events, including scenes at the kindergarten, the train station, the protagonist's home, and the final love scene on a bed. The guide emphasizes that being supportive and protective is the key to unlocking Amy's heart and achieving the romantic ending with her. This page continues the guide for building relationships in Dukyusei 2, focusing on two characters, Minori Kato and Sakurako Sugimoto. First is Minori Kato, a shy student who wears glasses. The guide suggests starting her route by interacting with the clerk at the convenience store. Key events involve uncovering her unexpected sides, dealing with issues related to a phone call, helping her through misfortune, and assisting another character named Yoshikiki, all leading towards a potential relationship. Screenshots show Minori in various school and park locations, illustrating emotional moments like crying by a tree. Next is Sakurako Sugimoto, a girl encountered at the hospital. Her route centers on visiting her frequently. The guide highlights events such as discovering her reflection in a hospital window, consistent daily visits, making a promise for a date, and ultimately having a romantic date. Screenshots depict the hospital exterior and interior, showing Sakurako in her room. The page concludes with a large, beautiful CG image of the protagonist and Sakurako, titled "We Held Hands," seemingly depicting a romantic moment outside, likely the culmination of her route. The overall tone for both characters emphasizes persistence and support to deepen the relationship. This page focuses on two more potential romantic interests in Dukyusei 2. Misayo Tanaka and Misato Nomura, detailing how to navigate their relationship paths. First up is Misayo Tanaka, who you primarily encounter at Hachijuhachi Station. Her route is described as a straight line to the end once you meet her there. The guide highlights an intense initial meeting and rapid progression of the relationship, including a mandatory meeting period between December 25th and 28th. Key events involve a tennis match minigame followed by making up, a promise for a date, and a significant restaurant scene where her past comes up. A prominent CG shows a romantic moment, emphasizing the quick development of love with Misayo. Next is Misato Nomura, who works at the travel agency.
The key to her route is frequent daily meetings. You can meet her almost every day at her work, and on Wednesdays, her day off, you can go on a date with her in Kisaragi. A major event is a hot springs trip, where she acts as a guide. Interactions on the bus, an event involving a dropped amulet, and even a chance to see her bathing scene are mentioned. After the trip, you continue to meet her actively, leading to a final decisive encounter in her room, where she appears in a towel, a climactic moment in her story. The guide emphasizes that meeting her often is crucial for increasing affection. This page continues the character guides for Dukyusei 2. First, we have Narumi Misako, described as living with the protagonist Ryunosuke and acting like a mother figure, but recently attracting unwanted attention from a persistent old man. Her route involves dealing with this nuisance, Kaoru Oyaji, encountering her in the cafe and living room between December 23rd and 28th. Key moments include repeatedly driving off the old man, and a significant midnight scene between the 24th and 27th, where she appears troubled while drinking. Another event on January 1st involves her consoling you, depicted in a CG showing her comforting pose. The second major section focuses on the mother and daughter pair, Nagashima Sachiko and Kumiko.
Their route begins with a winter hot springs trip starting December 29th.
The guide notes that the initial strategy for both is identical until January 1st. Events include meeting Kumiko at home upon returning on January 1st, witnessing a parent-child argument, and a notable mixed bath scene with Sachiko. Finally, a scene showing Kumiko sleeping is highlighted as a key moment in her path. These sections outline critical dates and locations for progressing their respective storylines. This page dives into the mid-game strategy for Samurai Showdown RPG, guiding you through Osaka, Anjo Village, and the Ancient Tomb, including key boss battles. This strategy guide covers the mid-game segment of Samurai Showdown RPG, focusing on the journey through Osaka and subsequent events. After progressing through Osaka, you'll encounter the Jigen-Ryu Master Boss.
Defeating him is key to advancing the story and obtaining information about Princess Tokariki. The guide then directs you to an Aquajo village to meet the Elder and acquire the Holy Maria statue needed to break a barrier. This leads you into the Ancient Tomb, where you face off against Ushiwaka Hime. Her stats are detailed, noting her decent level and special moves. Inside the tomb, after Ushiwaka Hime, you'll encounter a unique event featuring Kyokyo. This encounter leads to a boss battle against Kyokyo underground. Her stats are also provided, indicating she's another formidable opponent in this crucial section of the game. The guide emphasizes recovering health between these challenging encounters. This page details the continuation of the Samurai Showdown RPG strategy guide, covering the arrival on a new island after a shipwreck, a village quest, and a significant boss battle. After the events in the Ancient Tomb, your ship, bound for Kyushu, is struck by a storm, and you find yourself shipwrecked on a remote Christian island. You discover a village and learn from the Elder that a monster, Shirahi Genon, has taken up residence in the lecture hall and is demanding a village treasure, the Key of Heaven. You are tasked with defeating Genon to retrieve the key. The guide provides detailed stats for the boss Shirahige Jin, noting his level, HP, attack, defense, and special moves including Poison Mist and Spinning Attack. Defeating him completes this initial quest. The guide then explains the next step, deciphering the village legend to find the Key of Heaven, which involves interacting with specific locations on the island map based on numbered clues. Finally, the page includes lists of items available for purchase in both Osaka and on Kurumeshima Island, highlighting recovery items and equipment recommended for the challenging encounters. This page covers the shipwreck, the village quest to defeat Shirahi Genjin, the search for the Key of Heaven, and shop inventories. This page dives into the core strategies for bulk, detailing essential techniques and providing a walkthrough for the initial 6 stages. It outlines how to effectively play the 3D shooter, emphasizing the importance of mastering transformations and utilizing your partner to succeed. The guide highlights key techniques like swiftly completing missions by using the radar to locate targets, fighting alongside and leveling up your partner, like Leonie Rhodes and Lila Hart, whose navigation skills improve, primarily using the flight form, and obtaining crucial items like shield recovery from defeated enemies. It also discusses methods for achieving high scores, often by grouping enemies for large bonus points, and mentions the game's variable difficulty levels, which affect enemy placement and attack power. The guide breaks down Stage 1, focused on destroying a forced march combat ship, and 5 pods, detailing score points and the strategy for the boss, the forced march combat ship, recommending circling it while firing missiles. Stage 2 involves destroying fuel tanks and barrier-protected pods, pointing out partner locations and scoring spots, before culminating in a fight against the large flying turret boss, advising players to dodge its laser attacks. This page offers essential strategies for bulk/stages 16, covering techniques, partners, items, and boss tactics. This page continues the essential guide for the 3D shooter bulk/, covering detailed strategies for stages 3 through 6. It outlines the objectives and optimal approaches for each mission, highlighting key gameplay mechanics, partner roles, and boss tactics. Stage 3 focuses on defending a royal vessel, requiring careful movement and partner coordination as your flight route is fixed. The boss is the super heavy assault tank, which you must dodge by changing speed as it charges. Stage 4 takes the fight to space,
where you primarily use your flight form to plant bombs, avoiding enemy fire and landmines. The boss is the giant battleship, a multi-phase fight that requires careful dodging, especially during its laser attacks in certain phases. Moving indoors, Stage 5 is set in a weapons development plant, where you navigate narrow passages in robot form to collect innoids on each floor. The boss, the centipede weapon, transforms from a jellyfish into a powerful spider, emphasizing the need for preemptive strikes. Finally, Stage 6 involves capturing a resource planet, battling numerous strong enemies, and destroying 4 specific walkers. The boss is the all-purpose humanoid weapon, a fast, transforming mech that requires exploiting its robot form for critical hits. The guide also points out scoring opportunities, like destroying environmental objects. This page presents a comprehensive guide for Thunder Force V, covering strategies for the initial stages and tips for maximizing your score. It highlights the importance of choosing the right weapon for the situation and learning enemy attack patterns as essential steps to clearing the game. The guide recommends the hunter and free-range weapons as the best options, noting the hunter's piercing ability and the free-range's power and non-consumption of the claw gauge when not attacking. A dedicated section emphasizes careful management of the claw weapon, especially when only one remains. Basic scoring mechanics are explained, detailing the high tempo bonus earned by destroying enemies quickly after they appear, and the scratch bonus gained by grazing enemies or bullets, rewarding risky play. Specific stage strategies are provided, starting with Stage 1, described as an introductory level. It covers dealing with underwater enemies and the mid-boss, and suggests that close combat is viable against the stage boss. Stage 2 is presented as where the real challenge begins, with a focus on anticipating enemies appearing from behind. Strategies for the mid-boss, which attacks with swinging arms, involve avoiding contact and using preemptive shots. The guide advises concentrating fire on the stage boss's shoulder parts immediately to end the fight quickly. Screenshots throughout illustrate key moments and enemy formations discussed in the text. This Thunder Force vs. Strategy guide focuses on Stages 3 and 4. Stage 3, Human Road, is recommended for score attack due to easier early enemies, enabling early acquisition of the claw and free-range weapons. Avoid high-tempo enemies from the top unless necessary.
Mid-boss strategies include handling bomb attacks and maintaining distance. Stage 4, Guardian's Guardian, prioritizes destroying containers for early claw acquisition. Preemptive attacks are crucial later in the stage. Mid-boss strategies detail the claw's effectiveness against certain bosses, and the importance of caution against the crow mid-boss's laser without the claw. The guide emphasizes memorizing optimal attack positions for different boss forms, highlighting vulnerabilities and attack strategies. Finally, it notes the robot form's susceptibility during flight. This page features promotional material for the inaugural Volume 1 issue of Deluxe Saturn Fan on the left, highlighting key titles like Classmates 2, A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World, and Eve Desire. The middle section has a small introductory feature. The main content is the Cone Head Club, a lively reader mail corner filled with submissions and illustrations. Readers share their thoughts on the Saturn's growing library, discussing anticipation for major releases like Sakura Wars 2, and the game referred to as Cyber. There are comments on specific titles like Classmates 2 and Desire, expressing excitement and opinions on the console's strengths in various genres, including the unique simulation RPG Angelique Special 2. This section captures the enthusiasm of the Saturn community for upcoming games and the magazine itself, concluding with a small Manga to Go comic strip. This page is a deep dive into the Conehead Club Reader Mail Corner, packed with fan submissions, opinions, and illustrations. The Sega Am Freaks section features enthusiastic fan art and brief comments on Sega Am titles and the general joy of gaming. In Coshoop, readers share personal anecdotes about how games have impacted them, discussing specific titles and their emotional resonance. The Conehead Kids Network board focuses on game acquisition challenges, with a reader lamenting the scarcity of a limited edition title, sparking discussion about supply issues and dealer practices. The My Top Games section is a highlight reel of reader recommendations, featuring discussions on games like Airs and Dead or Alive, with passionate endorsements and descriptions of what makes them special. The To Yomo Corner delves into the importance of game sound and music, referencing titles like Sentimental Graffiti and highlighting the work of composers. Finally, the Illustration Gallery showcases fantastic fan art, covering a range of popular games and characters,
including Baroque, Virus, characters from Atlas titles, Tomb Raiders, and fan favorites like those from Eve/Desire and Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's a vibrant snapshot of the community's engagement with the Saturn library and the magazine itself. The next page is packed with fan contributions from the Conehead Club, showcasing the passionate community around Sega Saturn games. The We Are Supporters sections are filled with reader fan art and comments about their favorite titles. We see submissions for Dragon Force, with illustrations of characters and mentions of the strategic gameplay. The Tokimeki Memorial Fan Club features charming fan art related to the popular dating simulation game. The Taigeki Imperial Guard section highlights fan excitement for Soccer Wars, specifically referencing the upcoming release of Soccer Wars 2 and showcasing art of its characters. Under Voices of Porting Hope, readers express their wish lists for games they want to see on the Saturn, including titles like Princess Maker and the shooter Battle Garega. The Lunar Magic Guild is active, with submissions focused on the Lunar series, noting experiences with Lunar 2. EVA Complimentary Committee features fan art and discussions around Neon Genesis Evangelion, reflecting the popularity of the anime and its related Saturn games. The page also includes a brief queue and a section with the editors and guidelines for submitting fan mail and art to the magazine. This page features the reader-voted game ranking, with Soccer Wars taking the top spot, followed by other popular titles like Virtua Fighter 2 and Nights into Dreams, and a publisher ranking showing Sega leading the way. This page focuses on a special event for the horse racing game GI Battle Race, specifically covering the results of the Japan Derby Challenge. It details the winners and notable moments from the race, including screenshots of the game in action. The page also features a reader present campaign, offering various Sega Saturn software titles as prizes to those who fill out and send in a questionnaire. The questionnaire asks readers about their gaming habits, preferences, and opinions on the magazine's content. There is also a section providing instructions on how to correctly fill out the postcard for the questionnaire submission. This page provides readers with a comprehensive look at the magazine's contents and upcoming Sega Saturn software. Table 1 serves as the table of contents for this issue, listing the featured articles. Tables 2 and 3 provide lists of magazines and consoles, respectively. The bulk of the page is dedicated to extensive lists of Sega Saturn games. Table 4 lists software scheduled for release after July 1, 1997, offering a preview of titles gamers could anticipate in the near future. Table 5 details games released on July 10, 1997, organized by genre, showcasing the variety available, from fighting games like Virtua Fighter Remix and Fighting Vipers, to racing titles like Daytona USA Championship Circuit Edition, and other genres including adventure, simulation, and sports games. This section effectively acts as a release day rundown, highlighting the latest additions to the Saturn library across numerous categories. This page presents information on game design schools alongside an advertisement for a Sega Saturn title. On the left, you'll find details about the Tokyo, Nagoya, Yokohama, Omiya, and Osaka branches of the Computer Yume Land game design schools, outlining various courses available for aspiring game creators and providing contact information. The right side features a prominent advertisement for the Sega Saturn game, Album Club, St. Paulia Girls' School, released on July 11th for 6,800 yen. The ad includes a large image of several young women in swimwear, accompanied by smaller photos and stylized cartoon characters. It notes the game is exclusive to Sega Saturn and carries an 18+ age restriction, emphasizing its focus on interactions with girls attending the St. Paulia Girls' School. The game appears to be a simulation title centered around photography and relationship building, typical of the era's diverse Saturn library. This page delves into the adventure game Yuno, a girl who chants love on the edge of the world, highlighting its unique parallel world system. The large title introduces the game, while accompanying text describes its core premise of navigating multiple timelines and uncovering mysteries within them. A key feature discussed is the ADM system, which allows players to visualize the flow of time and branching paths across these parallel worlds, essentially helping them map out possibilities based on their actions. The page features character artwork, including portraits of the main girls and a large depiction of the protagonist, along with a screenshot showcasing the visual representation of the ADM's map. It's presented as a highly anticipated new title from ELF, created by producer Hiroyuki Kano, emphasizing the complexity and depth offered by its multi-story adventure format. This page is a detailed report on the Sega Saturn port of the fighting game, Dead or Alive. It focuses on the core combat mechanics, breaking down the fundamental triangle of attacks, which involves strikes, throws, and holds. The article explains how these three elements interact like rock, paper, scissors, with strikes beating throws, throws beating holds, and holds beating strikes, forming the basis of strategic gameplay and psychological warfare. It highlights this system as crucial to the game's depth. The page also details the danger zones present on the stages, explaining how being knocked down or thrown into these areas can lead to increased damage and dynamic environmental interactions, adding another layer of tension to matches. Several screenshots illustrate the characters engaging in various attacks, throws, and being affected by the danger zones. The article praises the smooth animation quality, stating it rivals the arcade version. A small table provides basic game information like genre and player count. Characters featured prominently in screenshots include Lei Feng, Kasumi, Zack, John Lee, Bayman, Tina, and Ryu Hayabusa. This page offers a detailed report on the action platformer, Silhouette Mirage. It highlights the game's core mechanic of two opposing attributes, Silhouette and Mirage, which affect both the player character Shina and enemies,
dictating who takes damage from different attacks. The report dives into various bosses encountered, showcasing their unique designs and battle mechanics. You'll see glimpses of bosses like Pororo, a young man who transforms into a powerful wolf-like creature, and the intense vehicle chase boss in Area 3. Area 4 features a TV station setting with unusual bosses, such as the slot and card boss, requiring players to engage in minigames during combat, and the unique gourmet boss Delilah, who must be fed attribute-specific enemies to be defeated. Other bosses include the attribute-changing Marakim and the shadow manipulator Faust. The article conveys the diverse and often quirky nature of the boss encounters in Silhouette Mirage. This page features a continued report on Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, highlighting several key aspects of the game's development. The article focuses on the evolution of the 3D dungeons, which now incorporate new visual concepts like stages and khandras to enhance the sense of presence and mark locations. A significant point is the demon roster, featuring designs by the legendary Kazuma Kaneko. The game boasts around 300 demons in total, with approximately 200 being newly created or significantly revamped. Screenshots showcase various demons, including familiar faces like Pixie and newer ones, emphasizing the unique artistry applied to the series' creatures. The report also touches upon system improvements, noting that the messenger system, previously just text, now has a visible form and plays a more crucial role in providing players with useful information on the field. The article includes a Q&A section with the developers, addressing player curiosities about demon design philosophy, changes to the battle system, and the intent behind the new dungeon features, reinforcing the game's commitment to evolving the Shin Megami Tensei formula. This page offers an updated look at Soul Hacker's 3D dungeons, demon rosters, and system enhancements as it progresses in development. This page continues the report on the simulation RPG, Ronde. The story revolves around the protagonist's quest to rescue a brother captured by monsters, exploring themes of reincarnation and the bond between brothers. The narrative features around 10 main characters and utilizes a multi-scenario and multi-ending system, adding significant replay value. The status screen introduces new elements like Devil, likely related to demon contracts, and Condition. A key feature highlighted is the Remix Station, which allows for the combination of humans and demons, suggesting unique party customization possibilities. Combat takes place on 3D polygonal fields, in a turn-based system, reminiscent of Shin Megami Tensei 2. Players command units, selecting moves like attack and movement. Battles are enhanced by detailed attack animations, boasting around 500 patterns that vary based on the character and action. Magic use also features distinct animations, incorporating visual and audio effects for dramatic impact. The article emphasizes the depth added by these varied and dynamic battle sequences. This page introduces a new deduction adventure game, Nanhudu no Jiken Suiridan, where the player takes on the role of Professor Nanhudu, a criminal psychology expert specializing in profiling, to solve complex cases. The core gameplay revolves around meticulously examining videotaped evidence related to the crime. The game features two main scenarios, including a serial locked room murder mystery titled 4 Spare Keys. In this complex story, you'll investigate multiple deaths surrounding a famous mystery writer, aided by your assistant Junhichi, and interacting with your rival Yuko. A key element of the game is unraveling the intricate relationships between the characters, which is presented via a detailed chart, essential for understanding motives and connections. Players must replay video segments,
pause to analyze specific details, and use the information gathered to profile the culprit and deduce the truth. It's a game focused on psychological deduction and careful observation of recorded evidence. The next page dives into Inspector Minton's investigation file. The Clown Murder Case, a mystery adventure game. This is a remake of a 1985% title, updated with new elements like 3D CG movement for exploration scenes. The game centers on solving the murder of a clown within a traveling circus troupe. Players step into the shoes of Inspector Minton, tasked with investigating the case and finding the culprit among the circus members. Gameplay involves exploring environments from a 3D perspective and, critically, interrogating the various suspects. The game features detailed character portraits with facial expressions that react realistically during questioning, using morphing technology to convey subtle changes in emotion. The page introduces many of the colorful circus troupe members who are suspects,
including clowns, acrobats, a strongman, and the ringleaders, highlighting their diverse personalities and hidden connections which are key to unraveling the mystery. It's a case that demands sharp observation and psychological deduction to see through the lies and find the killer hiding in plain sight. This page brings us a follow-up report on Machi, revealing new elements about this ambitious adventure game. The biggest news is the introduction of the fourth protagonist, Monteru Mabube, an actor who bears a striking resemblance to the Yakuza member Ushio. The page details Mabube's story, which is described as a tragic comedy, thrusting him into a life on the run due to mistaken identity. We see screenshots depicting scenes from his scenario, including interactions with other characters like Michiru and Sanji, and moments of peril. A key feature highlighted is the game's innovative system, allowing players to switch between protagonists and even alter the time freely during gameplay. This lets you experience the interconnected stories from different perspectives and uncover events that occur simultaneously. The game is an adventure title for the Sega Saturn, aiming for a summer release, and is reported to be 75% complete. It seems like Machi is shaping up to be a unique and deep narrative experience, with its multiple viewpoints and time manipulation mechanics. This page dives into Anarchy and the Nippon, a new 3D fighting game for the Sega Saturn. Developed by former key staff from the team behind the legendary Virtua Fighter, this game is supervised by some of Japan's top fighting game players, promising an authentic and strategic combat experience. The core gameplay revolves around striking, throwing, and evading, utilizing a 4-button system that offers depth and allows for complex strategies. Each of the 8 unique characters is equipped with around 50 distinct moves, ensuring plenty of variety. Speaking of characters, the roster is packed with personality, featuring an eclectic mix of combatants fighting for their own reasons. You'll find a tough as-nails teacher, a downtrodden salaryman, a fierce yakuza, a gossipy wife, a sassy schoolgirl, Kogyaru, and even a boxer wannabe Yankee. Screenshots showcase their distinct fighting styles and the game's 3D graphics. Anarchy in the Nippon is shaping up to be a fighting game built on solid mechanics and unforgettable characters. This page provides a detailed look at the upcoming SF mystery adventure game, Universal Nuts, featuring character introductions, story details, and an interview with the scenario writer. The page features large illustrations of the main characters, Yui and AI, and multiple screenshots showcasing gameplay moments. Universal Nuts is described as an SF mystery adventure, with over 750 graphic assets and a branching storyline across 10 chapters. The gameplay involves making choices at key points to guide the narrative towards different endings. A recall mode allows players to review previous text. The game uses a holder system to help players understand specialized terminology explained through graphics and text. The article also includes an interview with the scenario writer, discussing the creative process, the challenges of writing a branching narrative, and the goal of creating an engaging adventure story. He mentions the significant amount of writing involved compared to manga, and his preference for mystery elements in the SF setting. Screenshots depict dramatic scenes, dialogue choices, and ship interiors. The next page dives into Tokimeki Memorial Taisen Puzzle Dama, a competitive puzzle game that puts Konami's popular dating sim characters into the familiar Puyo Puyo-style Taisen Puzzle Dama framework. Following up on the arcade hit, this version features the charming cast of Tokimeki Memorial, letting players battle using their favorite heroines. The page highlights the game's appeal, centered around the diverse cast and engaging puzzle action. It details several gameplay modes: Tokimeki mode, which serves as a story mode where you interact with the heroines; Kira Kira mode, a versus mode featuring battles against the cast with difficulty settings based on school year; and Hirameki mode,
a quiz-style mode challenging players with specific puzzle conditions. Visuals on the page showcase the classic puzzle gameplay screen with colorful falling orbs, interspersed with character portraits and cutscene-like illustrations featuring the heroines in various outfits, including swimsuits, school uniforms, and casual wear. The game promises exciting chain reactions and strategic play,
leveraging the popularity of the Tokimeki Memorial franchise by putting its memorable characters front and center in a fast-paced puzzle battle. It's a fun twist on the competitive puzzle genre, leaning heavily on fan service with its detailed character art and interactions across different modes. This page features updates on 2 distinct titles for the platform. The first game covered is the sequel, Roommate Ryoko in Summer Vacations. This simulation game picks up where the previous title left off, focusing on a week spent with the character Ryoko during summer vacation. It emphasizes shared memories from the first game and highlights Ryoko's updated look and new outfits, aiming to deepen the player's connection with her. Screenshots display various dialogue scenes and character poses, showcasing Ryoko's appearance. Following this is a look at Mistralitus, known in Japan as Garbu Hakase no Miru Yume, a fantasy adventure title from Enix. Players explore a magical world and craft a story alongside Drive Garb. The feature highlights the game's unique animation style used for cutscenes, described as dynamic and handcrafted, giving it a distinct visual flair. Accompanying images showcase these striking animations, featuring fantastical creatures like dragons, flocks of birds, and mysterious figures, giving insight into the game's artistic vision and atmospheric world. This page delves into 2 distinct adventure titles. First up is Cat the Ripper, the 13th Detective, a mystery adventure set in a parallel UK where players wake up with amnesia, partnering with one of 3 unique detectives to solve a series of murders inspired by Jack the Ripper. The game emphasizes investigation, exploring the environment, and interacting with characters, with a focus on uncovering the truth within a time limit. Screenshots show key moments, like discovering crime scenes and selecting which eccentric detective to team up with. Following this is Mysterious Thief's Saint Tail, an adventure game based on the popular anime and manga. Players take on the role of Mamie Hanioka, a normal middle school student by day, and the phantom thief Saint Tail by night, returning stolen goods to their rightful owners. The gameplay blends daily school life with nighttime missions, featuring mini-games often integrated into school activities like classes. Screenshots highlight both the mundane aspects of Mamie's life and the exciting moments of her work as Saint Tail, showcasing the blend of simulation and adventure elements. This page presents 2 very different gaming experiences. On the left we have Eternal Fantasy, a new simulation game from the team behind Eternal Melody. His title focuses on character growth and interaction, set in a town where players must complete requests from residents to earn support and uncover secrets. You choose companions from a cast of charming characters, engage in town life, and delve into events that reveal their personalities. Screenshots show the anime-style visuals, town scenes, character portraits, and hints of gameplay involving choosing companions and completing tasks, even featuring a board game-like element. Switching gears completely, the right side is all about the brutal 3D dungeon survival of Doom. This page highlights the intense first-person action, where players navigate complex 3D environments, battling hordes of demons. It proudly states that both the original Doom and Doom 2 are included in this release. The core gameplay involves shooting your way through levels, dealing with various traps and puzzles, and managing a powerful arsenal of weapons, including the classic chain gun and shotgun, as shown in the screenshots. Survival depends on mastering combat and navigating the treacherous environments filled with over 30 types of monsters. This page features 2 exciting sports titles. On the left, we dive into the intense world of ice hockey with NHL 97. This game promises a realistic recreation of the sport, boasting official NHL licensing, complete with real teams and players whose stats reflect their actual performance. Players can experience dynamic gameplay with varied camera angles, including a unique first-person perspective from inside the helmet. The game offers a range of modes, from exhibition matches and full seasons to various playoff formats and shootout challenges, providing plenty of ways to hit the ice. Shifting gears, the right side presents Side Pocket 3, bringing realistic billiards into the 3D realm using polygons. This entry in the popular series focuses on authentic physics and presentation, allowing for diverse shot types like super shots and jump shots, all designed to be easily executed. Beyond standard matches, the game features a unique story mode, where players solve mysteries and challenge opponents like the character Reina,
alongside a comprehensive trick game mode with an editor and a wide variety of rule sets in versus mode, ensuring hours of engaging gameplay for pool enthusiasts. This page showcases 2 detailed sports simulations, the licensed hockey action of NHL 97 and the realistic 3D billiards of Side Pocket 3. This page features 2 distinct titles, the board game simulation, the Game of Life 2 Deluxe, and the action-packed RPG Mono Mono. The Game of Life 2 Deluxe brings the classic board game experience to digital, allowing players to simulate a lifetime from infancy through various stages. This iteration significantly expands on its predecessor, boasting over 2,000 unique life events and introducing a new moral parameter that influences your progress based on ethical choices. Character customization is also enhanced, offering more depth in creating your in-game persona. Meanwhile, Mono Mono is an action RPG where you play as Jen, on a quest to rescue a young girl named Yuki by battling creatures known as Mononoke. The game emphasizes action-oriented combat with directional attacks and special moves powered by a spirit gauge. A major focus is placed on item collection. Finding specific items is key to completing a special in-game book and unlocking powerful attacks. You'll explore dynamically changing cave dungeons guarded by bosses,
adding replayability to your adventure.
This page covers 2 games. Night Ruth, the 3rd installment in a paranormal adventure series, focusing on protagonist Aikawa Ran. 5 characters, including Ran, a psychic, investigate unsettling dreams and supernatural events. The game features voice acting, branching paths, and a digital comic format. The second part of the page is dedicated to Sentimental Graffiti, an idol simulation series. Upcoming summer fan events with voice actresses are announced, featuring talk shows, concerts, and solo CD releases. Recent and future solo crids by voice actresses are highlighted. This page dives into impressions of recent Sega Saturn software releases. You'll find reviews for the innovative audio-only adventure game Real Sound, Keize no Regret, where the experience is driven purely by sound, described here as akin to a radio drama. Then, there's the terrifying survival horror classic, Resident Evil, ported from the PlayStation, with reviewers commenting on its graphical detail, atmosphere, and frightening moments. There's also a look at the hard-hitting arcade fighting game Last Bronx, highlighting its solid gameplay and conversion to the Saturn. Additionally, the page features a section introducing the various reviewers, providing their opinions on these titles. There's also a list of upcoming software for the Saturn, giving a glimpse into the future lineup including titles like Virtua Fighter Kids, Shining the Holy Ark, and Sakura Wars. Each reviewed game section includes brief comments from multiple reviewers and a scoring breakdown.
Several Sega Saturn games are reviewed. Cat the Ripper is a compelling mystery game with interesting visuals but technical limitations. Thunder Force V is praised for its dynamic visuals and action, successfully updating the classic shooter series. Slayers Royal, based on the anime, received mixed reviews, praised for faithfulness, but criticized for shallow RPG gameplay. Buken Katsugeki Mono Mono is a simple action RPG with uninspired mechanics. NHL 97, while accessible, is considered lacking in depth compared to international versions. Finally, DX Jinsei Game 2, a digital board game, is a fun, casual experience, especially in multiplayer. This page features reviews and previews for several Sega Saturn titles. Emotional Graffiti Sans is a high school romance simulation praised for its character designs, but noted to have pacing issues and a less engaging system. Yukyu Gensokyoku is a fantasy simulation game where reviewers enjoyed the voice acting and character interactions. Kaito Saint Tail is an adventure game based on the popular series, offering fun mini-games but feeling somewhat disjointed in its story progression. Side Pocket 3 presents a 3D billiards experience, liked for its presentation but criticized for confusing rules and control nuances. Virtua Cop 2 is highlighted with a limited edition bundle, celebrating the successful arcade port. Langrisser IV is a strategic RPG, evolving the series' battle system with unit control. Also shown is a utility word processor software and an idle photo disc. This page dives into the world of Sega's arcade prizes, highlighting the latest and greatest items you could grab from Crane Games and other machines. The main focus is on the August lineup, featuring a huge push on Sega Girls figures, showcasing popular female characters from titles like Sonic the Hedgehog, Virtua Fighter, and Fighting Vipers. They also heavily feature merchandise from Neon Genesis Evangelion, with a wide variety of items like stickers, mugs, plushies, metal figures, and even unique items like Puyo Puyo room lights and Sakura Wars paper mirrors. The page emphasizes the popularity of these items, encouraging fans to seek them out. There's also a section announcing winners and soliciting ideas for future prizes. Overall, it's a look at the cool merchandise that complemented the Sega gaming experience outside the console itself. This page presents a character spotlight feature from the Saturn Fan section, focusing on heroines from the visual novel Extra. It leads with an apology for the section's absence in previous issues, directing readers to the deluxe Saturn Fan Magazine. The feature highlights two key characters. Kuanji Aya, introduced as Extra Heroines Number 3, is depicted as a charismatic and capable editor from a popular manga magazine, shown in various scenes including her professional life and a formal party. Wakamiya Yuki, Extra Heroines Number 4, is a talented lecturer from a French university, interestingly teaching Japanese history. Illustrations show her in different guises, from a studious lecturer to a TV caster, and even playfully suggesting her true form is a female martial artist, highlighting her diverse roles. The page concludes with a section for the Swati Goddess Promotion Committee, a fan corner dedicated to the character Swati, announcing the release of the Extra game on October 2nd for 6,800 yen, and inviting fan contributions like illustrations and letters. This page is a special feature, celebrating the release of Dokusei 2, Classmates 2, on the Saturn, and announcing its upcoming Windows 95 version from ELF. The page is highlighted by a large, vibrant illustration featuring the game's cast. The feature covers the game's release and includes a message from ELF President Akihito Tsukada to Saturn fan readers, expressing gratitude for fan support. It also details the upcoming Windows 95 version, noting significant upgrades like 256 color CG, increased event screen resolution, full character voice acting, and enhanced sound. Notably, the Win 95 release will also include Sotsugusei, graduates. Beyond the game itself, the page showcases a variety of Dokusei 2 merchandise available, including a music box featuring the character Sakurako Sugimoto, large pillows with character designs like Yui Narusawa and Sakurako Sugimoto, a mousepad, posters, and even a detailed replica of the school uniform. Prices are listed for these items. Finally, a special present campaign offers high-priced Dokusei 2 pillows to contest winners, and the winners of a previous contest for pin badges are announced. This page dives into the beloved world of Tokimeki Memorial, offering a deep dive for dedicated fans, particularly focusing on dating strategies for Saki Nijino, and highlighting the rainbow-colored youth storyline, which is part of the Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 1 for Sega Saturn. It covers various in-game dating events with Saki, such as amusement park double dates, sports club activities, and the highly anticipated pool event showcasing her in a swimsuit. There's even a quirky guide on a strange strategy involving doing nothing for 17 days. Beyond gameplay tips, the feature showcases a variety of Tokimeki Memorial merchandise, including character bath towels and figures of fan favorites like Saki and Shiori Fujisaki, plus a jigsaw puzzle. The popular trading cards are highlighted, specifically showing how multiple Shiori Fujisaki cards can be combined to form a larger illustration. The page also includes information on real-world tie-ins, such as live events for Mami Kingetsu, Shiori's voice actress, the establishment of her fan club, and original goods released to commemorate the Tokimeki Memorial movie adaptation. It's a comprehensive look at the game's ongoing popularity and expanding universe. This page dives into the world of competitive gaming with a focus on two popular Sega AM2 arcade titles. On the left, there's a report on the Virtua Striker 2 National Championship tournament held at Sega's headquarters. It features the winners of the competition, including the champion, and highlights the excitement of the matches. The game's development staff even made an appearance as guests at the event. The right side announces a nationwide tournament for Scud Race, known internationally as Sega Touring Car Championship. This upcoming event encourages players across Japan to participate in qualifiers held at Sega arcades, with the fastest racers advancing to the finals. It outlines the basic structure of the tournament, emphasizing the chance for players to showcase their skills. At the bottom, there's a section on reader prizes, featuring goods related to other AM2 hits like Virtua Fighter 3 and Virtua Fighter 2. This page focuses on upcoming titles from Sega's AM3 division. It kicks off with a preview of Le Mans 24, a 24-hour endurance racing game featuring a free entry play system, allowing players to join at any time. The game boasts dynamic weather and track conditions, online play for up to 6, and a realistic time progression system. It highlights featured cars like the Ferrari F40 GTE and the Nissan GT-R LM, emphasizing their authentic feel and sound. Next up is The Lost World, the arcade game based on the movie. This section details the game's scoring mechanics, explaining different shot types like aiming for weak points, snipe shot, hitting multiple enemies, one-shot double, and reacting to enemy sounds, trick shot. It also features a screenshot of a formidable Trex boss. There's a section on AM3 Network News, mentioning events and reader contributions, including an August 17th event at Tokyo Joyopolis, featuring the arcade game The Lost World: Jurassic Park. Another piece touches on a direct-to-video project related to The Lost World: Jurassic Park, praising its action sequences. The page concludes with mentions of regular columns for reader illustrations and general submissions. This page is dedicated to the characters of the arcade skateboarding game, Top Skater. It introduces two of the main playable characters, Athlon McKinley and Keith Frethley, presenting their design evolution and background stories. For Athlon McKinley, the page shows multiple clothing variations and design drafts, indicating a significant iterative process to land on his final look. His background story highlights his natural athletic talent and competitive spirit, driven by a desire to never lose. His journey into skateboarding began at age 11, influenced by street skaters he met while supporting his brother at a surfing competition. His ultimate goal is to achieve absolute #1 status and enter the world's largest competition. Keith Frethley's section also shows various design stages, including earlier drafts and the final approved version. His keyword is described as violence, aiming for a cool image with a sense of danger. His background explains how his design concept was solidified early on, focusing on a simple, striking look. The developer comments on the process of designing his shoes and finding a sponsor, AD.1 and Sega, that fit his style, leading to his unique appearance. The page mentions Keith's design process was smoother than Athlon's, requiring fewer revisions to reach the final look. This page launches into a special feature covering new arcade game reveals from Sega, highlighting their summer lineup shown at a recent private show. The star of the report is Narrated, a high-speed, futuristic bike combat racer from Sega AM1. This isn't your standard race. It's a visceral experience, where players constantly fight rivals using punches, kicks, and weapons, while navigating dynamic tracks. Gameplay involves mastering throttle, brake, turbo boosts, and dedicated attack inputs for both offense and defense. You can choose from 4 distinct characters, including Robin. It promises thrilling close-quarters combat mixed with intense racing. Beyond Motor Raid, the page touches on other notable Sega titles from AM3. Cotton 2 makes a return as a challenging comedic character shooter featuring Cotton and Silk, supporting 2 players with special command moves.
The Lost World is presented as a large-scale sensation game setup. Finally, Le Mans 24 is previewed as a 6-player racing game currently in development, targeting a September release. The page also briefly notes the continued popularity of print club machines, with new iterations appearing. This page shifts focus to Konami's summer arcade lineup, fresh from their announcement event. Leading the charge is Fighting Wushu, a visually impressive 3D fighting game boasting realistic CG graphics and motion capture. It features a roster of 8 diverse martial artists, each with their own unique fighting style, offering deep strategic combat using an 8-way lever and 3 attack buttons. The game also includes features designed to welcome new players, such as an auto mode.
We also see the legendary Gradius series make its leap into 3Ds with Solar Assault. This title brings the classic side-scrolling shooter formula into a 3D environment, featuring intense space combat with 3 selectable ships, including the new Albinias, each with different capabilities. Konami is also releasing Total Vice, a 3D shooting game where players battle terrorist groups in dynamic urban environments. It appears to be a thrilling action title focused on taking down enemies and upgrading your arsenal. Finally, there's Wedding Rhapsody,
a unique offering that blends quizzes with a marriage simulation, featuring charming anime-style characters and story events that change based on your performance and choices. It's an intriguing mix of gameplay styles centered around preparing for a wedding. This page features Ultech, a collection of reader-submitted tips, glitches, and advanced techniques for Sega Saturn games. Ranked 1 to 5, based on practicality and uniqueness, the tips cover various games: Zero Con Champ, Waku Waku 7, and Skull Fang.
Kuga Gaiden have techniques for unlocking power-ups, extra options, hidden music, and graphics. The King of Fighters 96 allows camera control during replays, and Waku Waku 7 shows how to use black character variations. Drexherd provides a hidden menu, advanced World War details, boss strategies, and the Super Dimension Fortress Macross features bonus content unlocks. Screenshots illustrate the tips, and readers can submit their own discoveries for potential prizes. This page highlights some exciting games on the horizon. First up is Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story: The Blue Destiny, a 3D shooting game that continues the intense legacy of the Gundam Side Story series. This is actually a 3-part epic, focusing on pilot Yukijima and his battle during the one-year war with the powerful exam system. It looks like classic high-speed mobile suit combat. What's really cool is the bonus CD packed with it, offering fan-essential content like a database, strategy movies, and more. Next, we're looking at Blue Breaker, Smile More Than the Sword, an RPG with a twist. Originally a PC FX title, you play as Kane, tasked with saving the world from demons and finding your ideal bride among 8 unique candidates. The game features exploration via map movement, strategic turn-based battles against monsters, and interaction within a guild to gather info and form your party. There are some charming anime cutscenes, and the focus on building relationships with the distinct potential heroines adds a really interesting dynamic to the adventure. This Sega Saturn preview highlights several upcoming titles. Gal Act Heroism is an RPG with a dynamic scenario system, focusing on a trio of adventurers saving the world. Rise of the Phoenix is a historical simulation where players control figures during Japan's Bakumatsu period, incorporating card-based negotiations. Beg Vector is a 3D shooter with time-limited combat and simultaneous enemy targeting. Finalist is another 3D shooter, requiring careful mission planning in a post-apocalyptic setting. Courier Crisis is an action game combining delivery with combat. Finally, Lifescape 2. Body Bionics is an action game involving battling viruses within a virtual human body, referencing NHK's Amazing Microcosmos series. This page previews upcoming games. Super Paint Adventure features familiar Mahjong characters in a mystery-solving adventure. Pachizlo Complete Strategy Unico 97 simulates Pachizlo machines. Dark Seed 2 is a horror adventure with an unsettling atmosphere, set in a Geiger-inspired dark world. Puzzle games include National Uniform Beautiful Girl Grand Prix and Pastel Muse. New title announcements include Enix's Ninja Penguin Mandomaru and a World Soccer RPG, Koei's Power-Up Kits, and Visco's Prince's Quest, an RPG with Gensho character designs. A Sega Saturn development status report details progress on numerous titles. RPGs like Panzer Dragoon Saga and Soul Hackers, at 50% completion, are in early and mid-development respectively. Rond, 80%, boasts 3D graphics. Action/fighting games like Dead or Alive, 65%, and Street Fighter Collection, 60%, are progressing. Simulation and adventure games, including Grandia, Progress Unknown, Lunar, Eternal Blue, and Virus, 99.99%, nearing release, are also highlighted. Other titles, like Chaos Seed, 38%, Galaxy Fraulein Yuna 3, and Momotaro Duchuki, 98%, are in various stages of development. Super Robot Wars FEC is confirmed, but its progress is unknown. Overall, the report paints a picture of a busy and varied lineup of upcoming Saturn games. This page presents the Sega Saturn's upcoming game lineup, offering a detailed calendar for July, August, and October, along with titles planned for later or with undecided release dates. The list includes a diverse range of genres, from action and fighting games like Last Bronx, Mega Man X4, and the Street Fighter Collection, to RPGs such as Panzer Dragoon Saga and Lunar, Silver Star Story. Fans of popular series will find new entries, like Thunder Force V and Resident Evil,
alongside simulation and adventure titles. The sheer volume of games listed, extending into the future with anticipated titles like Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, and X-Men vs. Street Fighter, paints a picture of a packed release schedule and an exciting time for Saturn owners. This page features the upcoming issue of SEGA Saturn Fan Magazine, dated for release on July 25th, highlighting games like the fighting title Last Bronx and the survival horror classic Resident Evil, promising in-depth guides. The left side also includes a comprehensive index listing various games covered within the magazine. The right side is dominated by a significant campaign for the horse racing game Stakes Winner 2, available on both PlayStation and Sega Saturn. This double campaign boasts a total prize pool of 1 million yen. Players could participate in two ways: a quiz contest offering 450,000 yen in prizes, or a time attack challenge in the game's original mode, with a potential prize of 550,000 yen. The campaign deadline was July 31st, 1997. The campaign was presented by SNK and Saurus, the game's developers. This page features the psychic suspense RPG Marika World of Truth for the Sega Saturn. Set in modern Tokyo in 1997, the game follows a group of girls caught up in a terrifying terrorist plot, asking if they can save the country. The game boasts full-screen animated visual battles and over 4 hours of impressive animated story sequences, designed to enhance the dramatic narrative. It features a stellar lineup of popular Japanese voice actors to bring the characters to life. This chilling RPG is highlighted as finally available and is priced at 5,800 yen before tax, with a recommended age rating of 18 and over.